It began on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday morning, the sun shining brightly over the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles. Little did anyone know, a fiery inferno was about to be unleashed, forever etching this day in the city's memory. Near a state park, amidst the dry brush and tinder-like conditions, a spark ignited. Fanned by the Santa Ana winds, the flames quickly grew, transforming from a flicker to a raging inferno in a matter of hours. The idyllic neighborhoods nestled in the foothills of Los Angeles, known for their breathtaking views and luxurious homes, were about to face nature's wrath. The fire, fueled by years of drought and driven by winds of unprecedented ferocity, spread with astonishing speed. It raced through the canyons and hillsides, consuming everything in its path. The air, once filled with the sounds of birdsong and the laughter of children, now crackled with the roar of the flames and the panicked cries of those fleeing for their lives. By 10:30 a.m., the first alarm bells sounded, alerting authorities to the blaze near the state park. Initial estimates projected the fire to spread over 200 acres, a grim forecast that would soon prove tragically conservative. The flames, propelled by wind gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour, tore through the dry brush, rapidly engulfing vast swaths of land. Within 2 short hours, the fire had reached the affluent community of Pacific Palisades, a haven for celebrities and those seeking respite from the city's hustle and bustle. Evacuation orders were issued, sending residents scrambling for safety. However, the fire's relentless advance outpaced even the most urgent warnings. The narrow, winding roads, typically bustling with life, became choked with fleeing vehicles, transforming into impassable nightmares of gridlock and desperation. Many were forced to abandon their cars, fleeing on foot with only the clothes on their backs. By 4 p.m., the situation had escalated to a full-blown crisis. The fire, now a raging monster, intensified its assault, consuming homes and businesses with equal ferocity. The sky, once a brilliant blue, was now obscured by a thick, choking blanket of smoke, the acrid smell of burning wood permeating the air. As dusk descended, casting an eerie glow on the inferno, the true extent of the disaster began to emerge. By 6:30 p.m., the fire had consumed over 1,200 acres, forcing thousands to flee their homes and leaving countless others trapped in the path of the inferno. Governor Newsom, recognizing the gravity of the situation, declared a state of emergency, mobilizing resources and issuing urgent pleas for assistance. But as darkness enveloped the region, offering a temporary respite from the scorching heat, a new threat emerged. A second fire, christened the Eaton Canyon Fire, ignited in the nearby community of Altadena, adding another layer of chaos and desperation to an already dire situation. Hurricane-force winds gusting between 75 and 100 miles per hour grounded firefighting aircraft, leaving firefighters on the ground virtually powerless against the inferno's relentless advance. As dawn broke on Wednesday, a city under siege emerged from the smoke and ash. The sky above Los Angeles, typically a vibrant blue canvas, was now choked with plumes of smoke, a grim testament to the inferno's destructive power. The air, thick with the smell of burning wood and the acrid tang of chemicals, stung the eyes and scratched at the throat. The fire, showing no signs of abating, continued its westward march, consuming an additional 5,000 acres and reaching the coastal areas. The iconic beaches of Southern California, once synonymous with sun-kissed surfers and carefree days, were now shrouded in smoke, the waves crashing against a backdrop of devastation. The fire's relentless advance left a trail of destruction in its wake. An estimated 1,000 structures, including homes, businesses, and cherished landmarks, were reduced to smoldering rubble. The Eaton Canyon Fire, burning with equal ferocity, claimed its first victims. 2 fatalities were reported, grim reminders of the human cost of this natural disaster. Overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the disaster, authorities struggled to contain the inferno. Over 7,000 firefighters, many working tirelessly for over 24 hours straight, battled the flames, risking their lives to save others. However, their efforts were hampered by a confluence of factors. Low water pressure, caused by the fire's insatiable thirst and exacerbated by years of drought, hampered firefighting efforts. Limited resources, stretched thin by the simultaneous blazes, forced firefighters to make agonizing choices, prioritizing lives over property. As the fire raged on, it reached the Hollywood Hills, another affluent community known for its iconic sign and sprawling estates. Evacuation orders were issued, forcing residents to flee their homes and seek refuge in shelters and with family and friends. The images of celebrities and everyday citizens alike, their faces etched with fear and uncertainty, fleeing their homes with whatever belongings they could salvage, became a stark reminder of the fire's indiscriminate power. Section 4, Thursday, a glimmer of hope amidst the ashes. Thursday dawned with a glimmer of hope, a flicker of light amidst the darkness. The winds finally began to subside, offering a reprieve to the exhausted firefighters. With calmer winds, firefighting aircraft were able to take to the skies. Helicopters dipped their buckets into lakes, releasing torrents of water onto the flames. Air tankers dropped fire retardant, attempting to slow the blaze. The lull in the wind allowed firefighters to make significant progress. Containment lines began to hold, halting the fire's advance in some areas. Evacuation orders were lifted, allowing residents to return and assess the damage. However, the Eaton Canyon fire remained uncontained, having consumed over 10,600 acres. In total, the two fires had scorched over 177,000 acres. As the day wore on, a new threat emerged. A third fire ignited near the Mount Wilson Observatory, a vital communication hub. Firefighters raced to contain this new threat, knowing the loss of the observatory would be devastating. Authorities imposed a curfew to prevent looting and ensure safety. The National Guard was deployed, reassuring residents and deterring exploitation. Despite efforts, the death toll continued to rise. By Thursday evening, 10 fatalities had been confirmed, each loss a tragedy. Section 5. Friday, the long road to recovery begins. As Friday dawned, the fire, while still burning in some areas, had lost its ferocious intensity. The tireless efforts of firefighters, combined with the calming winds, had finally turned the tide. The smoke that had choked the city for days began to dissipate, revealing a landscape scarred by the inferno's passage. The once lush hillsides were now blackened and barren, the skeletal remains of trees reaching skyward like silent sentinels. The Eaton Canyon fire, the most stubborn of the blazes, was finally declared contained, though firefighters remained on high alert, extinguishing hot spots and monitoring for any flare-ups. The fire near the Mount Wilson Observatory, thanks to the swift response and favorable weather conditions, had been contained before it could inflict significant damage.